Have you ever wondered how long it takes to become a master at something? Might takes 10,000 hours. But honestly, who has that kind of time?
So, I decided to make a 3D concept art by learning 3D in 100 hours.
By the way, what is actually concept art?
Is a form of visual design created to communicate ideas, moods, and the overall look of something, usually from movies, games, animation, or any creative project, before the final version is made.
But it doesn't have to be completely limited to the beginning.
Before touching Blender, I needed an idea. I wanted something magical, soft, aesthetic, and simple, and one thing popped into my head: train platforms in Japan.
And this is the concept that I wanted to do. A woman standing on a platform with a train passing by, trees around and some clouds.
And some model references, such as stations, trains, signal pole, trees and characters.
That's it.
Before starting this project, I already had a basic understanding of 3D modeling, texturing, UV mapping, and lighting. I'm not an expert, but I'm comfortable with the essential tools in Blender.
And it's time to model.
Started by add cylinder, scale it up to the axle, scale it down, right click and shade auto smooth, move it up a little bit. Next I will make this part of the light sign.
Add plan, change scale and rotation. It should look like a cross shape at a slightly lower angle. There's a reference.
And there is so much more to talk about that I will skip this point because it will make too long.
I'll skip it when the model is finished. And there it is.
Now time for texturing.
It don't need to be highly detailed or realistic.
I made this image to use as a texture for the light pole and the sign, and I found a small problem with UV mapping texture. For those who don't know what it is, I'll give you a brief explanation. UV mapping is a 3D modeling technique that maps a 2D texture onto a 3D object. It essentially unwraps a 3D model's surface into a 2D plane, allowing artists to apply detailed textures and images.
And for a beginner like me, it's not that hard to fix. And for some textures you can use free access from these sources.
I use them too, they are a great time saver.
And finally I finished the first model.
For the next model, I'll use Chimanada stations for reference.
Add cement floor, some ground, road, bench,
pillar foundation,
steel column, more, roof beam, awning, roof mount and beam, roof, texture, and we done. And for the train model, I will find a blueprint as a reference to make the ratio not distorted and look natural. And here is the blueprint that I found by chance, which is exactly what I needed.
So, I created it based on this. Start with the basic structure, interior, doors, glass, minor details, wheels, car headlights, and diesel engines, materials and finish. For the trees, it would be difficult and time-consuming to do it myself, so I looked for a tutorial video.
And I found a video how to make the trees I'm looking for. Really good tutorial. After following the video, although I had some trouble with the geometry nodes, I finally got what I wanted. After I have the model ready, I will arrange it and find the best camera angle, along with adding various models and play around with HDRI.
Lighting is essential for setting the mood. Added a light spot and depth helps the image look more dimensional and lively than before.
For the render engine, I will use Eevee because it gives a cartoon-like tone.
And render faster than Cycle because my PC is not very powerful.
And use grease pencil to make the stroke for each object.
And this is a rough preview, but it's basically like this.
For the character, I wanted it to be a woman wearing a white dress, brown hair, and a straw hat.
I'll start with an overall sketch, vector lines, solid colors, and shadows. To make it easier to animate, I'll break it down into individual pieces.
But it wasn't that easy because I'd never done any animation before.
So it's good to find examples and references.
After getting along with it for a while, I finally got this.
It's not perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it. Now, let's add some movement for train.
But as you can see, the parts are separate and I don't want to put them together. So I use a blank object, set it as the parent object to make it easier to move other objects. And insert keyframe for movements. Put them together. And here is the final result.
Wait, I think she's too big. Okay, good.
After spending 100 hours learning Blender, I've gained more than I expected. From basic modeling, lighting, and materials to scene composition and final rendering.
The results might not be perfect, but I feel more confident now and ready to keep improving. And here's a little tip I've come to understand after getting to 3D for a while.
Modeling.
Start with simple shapes. Block out your forms first, and don't rush into detail. Good structure always matters more than complexity. Texture. Use roughness, variation, and imperfections to make materials feel natural. Even simple shaders can look great with the right surface detail. UV mapping. Organized UVs make texturing so much easier. Take the time to unwrap properly and avoid stretching. It pays off in the final look.
Lighting.
Think like a photographer. Lighting sets the mood, guides the eye, and brings the entire scene together, even more than textures sometimes.
And use 2D programs like Photoshop or others to help you for final's render process.
And always flexible.